Alright, today we're going to try the coffee from Taiwan. A friend that visited our cafe from Taiwan. They brought this coffee for us. It's famous Alishan coffee. It's medium light roast. So it's from the Galaxy Cafe. So let's try it. It's very, very fruity. Look at the rose color. The beans are really beautiful. Okay, let's do an 18-gram dose and see how it tastes. And for today's grinder, I'm going to use the DF64 Gen 1 with SSD Lab Suite Casper version 2. Grind setting is currently at around 70, so I'll grind a little bit coarser. Maybe this time we try with 75. I would say there's very minimal chuff. Of course, there's some static, but I think it should be quite good. Today I'm going to use the CT62, a ceramic dripper. And because I left the spreading tools at the cafe, so I'm just going to rinse it with water. You're going to see how I prepare this. So you can see, just hold on to the side that you fold, gently on the tab, let it fill with water, and then you start to swirl. And there you go. Everything is nice and adhere to the wall. Right, so for the water temperature, I'm going to use at 94 degrees Celsius because this is a medium light roast. So first, I'll give it plenty of rinse of water to heat up the CT64 dripper. Pour away the hot water. Right, and then let's see whether we got 18 grams of coffee. Right, 17.9, I would say this is pretty close to almost zero retention. You can see that the grind size is pretty coarse, so this is going to be a very clean cup of coffee. And usually I like this because you extract a lot of sweetness. Right, so let's tear this, and then let's start to pour. I'm going to do a 1:16 ratio. So 18 grams of beans, I'm going to use around 300 grams of water. Let it bloom for about 30 seconds to 40 seconds. And we'll separate the pour into 3 stages. And each stage we're going to pour around 80 grams of water. And usually I'll do from the center, a very gentle pour, so that it doesn't create much turbulence. Go around the circle. Right, the CT62 It's a dripper with very low bypass, so even if you touch, if your water stream touches the side, it is not so big of an issue. So I'm going to go all the way to 130 grams of water, right? And we will try not to flood the coffee bed with a lot of water. So the water is always just about covering or saturate the entire coffee ground. So when you see that it's starting to set down, we'll pour again. And this time you can see I do from the side. Try to push the coffee to the center. Control the amount of water that you are pouring. Remember, we will not try to flood it. And this time, we will go all the way to 210 grams of water. And then we'll do a last pour, which is around 90 grams of water, and that will end the extractions. This is my first time trying the coffee beans from Alishan Taiwan, so it's going to be pretty interesting. So as you can see, I'm trying to control the pour, and this kettle is allowing me to do that because you can see I can control a very steady stream of water from the gooseneck kettle going back to the center. All the way up to 300 grams. Okay, there we go. And the entire extraction time should be about 3.5 minutes. So at the last stage, you can see there's a little bit of ponding of water because the SSP cast lap sweepers tends to produce a little bit more fine as compared to other SSP range of grinder at 64 mm. Okay, just nice. It's about 3.5 minutes, and let's enjoy the coffee. Let's remove the dripper to the side, and then I'm going to use a ceramic glass to see the color. The color is darker than I've expected, because usually for my medium light roast, the color tends to be a little bit more orangey or red in color, but this is almost like the color of Lipton tea. Right, so let's try this. Let's try the coffee. Okay. Oh, it's very clean. It's a sweetness, but behind the sweetness, there's hints of there's hints of bitterness. But the bitterness is not in any way bad. It reminds me that this is coffee and not non-caffeinated drinks. Definitely very tangerine-like. I can taste a lot of orange flavor inside there. Right, according to the tasting profile, it's still supposed to have peach, tangerine, apple, caramel, lychee, yeah, and maple syrup. So this is the tasting note given by the back. It is sweet. I can definitely taste the caramel, but it's like a burnt caramel kind of a taste. But the tangerine is definitely very, very clear. Right, so as compared to the Ethiopian Guji coffee, I would say the Ethiopian Guji is a lot cleaner, a lot sweeter. and a lot juicier than this. Probably I need to give it more rest because I think the roast date of this coffee is on the 18th of August. Right, today I think it's the 25th, so it might not be the best yet. So I'll give it a rest a few more days, and then I'm going to make a second filter coffee to see whether this coffee from Taiwan, Galaxy Cafe. Right. Thanks for sending these over. And I love the group members that came and visit our cafe the other day, yesterday in fact. So I hope to see you all again. Right. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you very soon.